Okay. Even shows the rating here. That's nice. Damn, capture is good. So I cannot even lie on YouTube thumbnail that it was a professional player. So Teutons against Gujarat in Arabia. What is our approach here, Margougou? With slow knights against camels that have extra bonus damage and don't care about your one little armor. Do you really go for the cavalry? I can already see you playing scout opening and dying. Scout opening in feudal is fine, but in castle age you cannot go knights. Hopefully you went pikeman or maybe even not even crossbow, Yashiamsha. Like at this point, yeah, scout opening is okay always, but you cannot go full knights. Luckily there is a thing called a map factor. You scout your map, really good, back gold, safe wood line. Easy wall in for a fast castle, right? Very easy wall in to get fast castle, not for Boomy. His map. A big potential to push, no? The berries and woodline should be safe, but this is a big hill, important hill. Getting the gold and getting close to his TC. Tavrash is obviously an opening that can work, but that's kind of mimic opening, and I prefer to coach or show the meta play. So you never knew the well, you push the deer, but you still have time to scout. Obviously, opening scouts is fine. The game will not end by win or loss if you open a scout. That's never a mistake. Unless you obviously screw up micro or whatever. But if you open scouts, you're good against everything. Castle age transition is something you need to worry about, where Gujarats are absolutely demolishing you. Is Tavrash the open that solves most of your economy? Yeah. Like first you have 5 villagers forward, and like few villagers and stone at home. You invest into mining camps, so you cannot get military building. If you do, your farming is lacking. If you Tavrash, your economy disaster. And you need to make enemy economy disaster as well. If you don't succeed with the good Tavrash, with good towers, then you're dead. Danny Boy is thinking. Danny Boy is using brain. He knows his gold is disaster, that this hill is a problem. He makes building far away, but on an amazing spot. Danny Boy is a dangerous player. Okay, you open range, that's fine. Yeah, this is a really good play. Such a small thing, but it will save him so much problems in Castle Age. Doesn't Margougou best move to go Swordsman? Not with this opening. When enemy already got the range, he got easy transition to the crossbow. But yeah, if it was stable opening, stable against stable, transition into the longsword is definitely an option, but you can never overdo it because longsword is not really a good raiding unit. He can defend with TCs and monk or two, even against Teutons. You're opening archers, assume. Yes, you are. Your scout needs to survive. That's the first thing. Enemies opening skirmishes, you're having scout. Your scout needs to be full HP. That's your biggest tool now to buy yourself time against skirmish opening. He cannot move across the map. Like, if he sniped the scout, if you made a mistake, like, being fancy here, if that scout was less HP, he would just move out with skirmish. He doesn't have any threat anymore. So you need to be careful with your scout when you play against skirmisher with archers. Playing this passive. What's your map info? Yeah, you know all the things now. Not sure why you're playing this passive. Like, when you play archers against skirms, you are in no risk attacking. If he attacks you while you're attacking him, you're happy, right? Your units are way better at killing economy. And you can even fight with villagers here. Your only risk is getting caught off guard, being quick-walled and such, but, well, you need to learn to play against that, right? Playing passive is a lazy play. You have units that gives you initiative early game. Do it. And be careful. You are scared of losing your archer? Well, you cannot play scared of losing your archer. You will only lose your archer if you fuck up, right? You will not lose the magic the day Are they even fast in skirmisher? It always feels that way. They're same speed, but even then, right? Unless you dive in and don't see him jump into you, you will never lose more than one archer. Yeah, you're playing very, very passive, and you're just playing the meta, right? Scouts, archers into scouts, you obviously will have a clean play when nothing is happening. He will have clean play when nothing is happening for him as well. But okay, at least the scout here transition is good, only because his gold is bad. You probably did it because like that's your way of playing, but here it's a good move because his gold is bad and you can punish that a lot. If his gold was better, or if he makes a tower, you stop making scouts immediately. So you have scouts and you... Well, okay. Would obviously scout a bit more where the vulnerable spot is, but okay. That's for another session when you're 2.7. You didn't use scout to get the vision, you don't know where his map is, you're both playing very blind. You're both playing very blind. Which is fine when you're fully walled, but he had to be at home because he cannot move out, right? If he got caught, he's dead. Scrims are only safe at home. But you could play more aggressive. He should be very close to clicking up. If he was me, I would already be like 30% up. With a good old market. Yeah, basically at this point, he kinda already have a big lead. You invest into scouts, he's castle age faster, he didn't even need to sell stone, and he's getting to, like, if this was a normal matchup, if his team is not so much better in castle age, then fine, this is okay play, if you were Tatars or whatever. But crossbow, archers is not the unit that scales very well with Teutons. Your army composition will get demolished as game goes on. Yeah, you need to press the issue. You need to press the issue. Another big mistake. This is a huge mistake. Investing so much into walls when you invest in a lot more than enemy into army. A big no-no. Again, will work. 2.5, 2.6 maybe. Not top layer. Did you ever see Leary walling? Like this is copy of Leary. This is like a Leary opening for beginners. On the budget. When Leary opens archers and move into scouts, he doesn't have a single wall. He makes some houses as a natural wall, right? But he's saving so much more resources because he's not falling that he's able to apply way more pressure. He would constantly be on him and he would use those scouts way better then. Now this is a nilly move, like I didn't do any damage, I will go all around because I'm trapped behind his base. I most likely will lose everything, but if he is not seeing it, if he makes a huge mistake, I might win. That's it, like. This is counting on his big mistake. And a lot of times he will not move it out. He will just chop and completely clean this up. At least archer part. Now, obviously, you hit the jackpot. But this is not a good play. Just because it worked out this time, it's not a good play. It's just because Danny Boy got lazy and he wanted to move out with his units. He wanted to hit that timing because he knew he made scouts. He will have faster castle each time and he wanted to hit you faster with his units so he moved out to the map to be closer to your base. Unnecessary, but he also went triple range, a big mistake, not needed. Why would you go triple range against Teutons when your camos are countering everything he got? And he didn't even sell stone to go up, so one range was even enough. Like one range would be perfect play for Danny Boy. And then you would be absolutely dead. Yeah, let's pause a little bit so I can read. What should I make more scouts and push him off gold? Yeah, we can like if he asked this Leary to repeat, he would do it, he would coach you better here. Like first big mistake, you open archers against scrums, you're sitting at home until scouts show up. You're just dancing around, right? You know when you play skirmishes against archers and archers are in front of your base. Idling a villager to keeping in the darkness, it's so annoying. And you have a better feeling what's going on, right? And then you also have him always on the on reaction, right? So imagine if your archers were here, and he's always trying to chase you in with skirms, back, forward, and then bam, your scout center. A huge difference, right? Then skirmishes would be a way you can even debate a lesser player, like let him chase you a bit more, and then scouts clean everything up. Waiting until home, until you get your perfect composition, and then a patrol move out, and hopefully you win. You will never beat any top player like that. I can already tell you. That's not the way. You can do it maybe with Ethiopians, with some teams like that have a winning matchup here, but you have a losing matchup, you're playing very passive, it's just a wrong play. And again, I repeat, it was mostly because he opens skirms. If you open archers against archers, then it's a bit trickier. Then you can justify walling earlier and so on. Different play. But here, when you have got skirms that cannot do anything to you unless you make a big mistake with your units, well, use your units. Simple as that. And then scout switch would be timed out so much better. You would have the timing window, and then you would probably not win the game, but you would force the tower. And that's already a win, right? If you played how I said, you would maybe kill a skirmisher or two, he would be forced back, he would rush the tower, you would camp archers here, and you would force the tower and remove villagers from one wood line. You're happy with the result. And now you're in some awkward scenario, also let him dive in. This is the game that I cannot comment anymore. Strategic options were wrong for both of you. Now you're playing it a messy game for no reason at all, because you waste a lot of units. He dive in and got lucky to get in. You both take huge risks that kinda paid off. Villager kill somebody equal, but those type of risks are not good. He ran under my TC, what can he do? Yeah, but I see that's his fault, right? You should not just dive in at the TC, and obviously you can quick wall, chop. Like, he starts running in, you make few gates. If he was playing against Viper, he would not dive in. Let's put it that way. He would not dare to dive in. He knew he would maybe get quick walled, maybe there's few knights in. Would not do that. He knows it's a mistake. Also, it's run game, right? I do a lot of stupid shit in run game as well. But diving in blind, he didn't have any vision, right? He just dive in and let's hope I can do something. Not the best play. Rarely is. It's a risky play. Sometimes I also take those risks in tournaments, just because I think I will lose in a normal matchup, but here he got better tip, he didn't need to do that. Yeah, people crossbow in Gurjara 2004 is obviously a mistake, right? That's why I'm not sure how to comment this one. Like, both went crossbow and now double stable switch. I'm more commenting on Danny Boy play here, but he went triple range, made only units from feudal age, he didn't continue massing them, and then he had double stable. It's so much wood wasted, right? Like, wasting this much wood for, well, zero production is okay in Imp, in late castle age, but in feudal age, early castle, that wood is so precious. That could be extra TC, that could be extra farmers, that could be upgrade, that could be a lot of better things. Do I need to comment that this is a mistake? So now you're in the stage of the game where Teutons lose to Gurjara. He got mobility, he got Yansha Raider. You're playing crossbow against that. You cannot play like this against them. That's why your scout opening was good, scout switch, but you need to keep the pressure. In castle age, if you didn't waste your units, okay, another big point. Let me do this. Just show that I have Capture H Pro. You will probably say I cannot play forward because you got Castle Age faster. But if you did not waste those units, you would have those units pinned in at home for a bit longer time, right? And then you would be able to sneak a Siege Workshop forward. Like against Gurjaras, you cannot win in a normal game. There is no way with Teutons. You need forward Siege Workshop, Monks, Pikemen. Depends what he's playing. He was playing Skirmishers, Archers, Crossbow. So Siege Workshop. If he was playing camels, Monk first. But having some pikemen is never a mistake. Never a mistake against them. You have a perfect pushing spot, but you just use it as a decoy. That's why when you played similar against me in the Cavasan game, if you remember. I was attacking you and you sent a group of the crossbow to kill like 4 or 5 villagers at me from my home. I cleaned it up, I lose 5 villagers, and then I have complete map control forever. Same thing is happening here. You're trading army for villagers and then you lose the whole map control and then you're playing from behind and... Can work if you're booming, if you have a really good civ later on. If you have a weaker civ and you have no map control, I will be happy to give you 10 villagers for your whole army. Yeah, here game is just over. Your Teutons, you're massing crossbow like crazy and playing from home. How do you expect to win against Grugiars? Okay, the game played out with the base trade and such, so you couldn't go forward. Make a longer distance plan. The crossbow will not get you, will not scale that well. Your macro is obviously stepping away as well. The crossbow is not your long distance plan. They will scale very bad for Teutons and especially against Grugiars that got Shivamsha Raider. What can you do? 40 boom. Monk pikeman defense. Siege defense. Defense with the leftover crossbow. The only way for you to win this game is having a big economy lead and fast imp. Or one of those. Again, blind pushing, right? You're going, those guys are going to the war, they are not sure what they're gonna accomplish. They have no real mission, they just wanna do something. And well, double stable could be 10, could be 2, you have no clue. Only thing you know is he will pick up the fight. When he gets out, you're cleaned up. And that's the power of mobility. So best thing you can do here is going home, right? Yeah, at this point you just need to have economy lead and win like that. Because you will be trading inefficiently whole game against Grugiars Teutons, you will need economy to back it up. But your economy is also weaker. Again. Okay-ish move, he's safe at home, he can do that. Going double combos, Kerms and Shivamsha to counter one group of the crossbow is such a weird play in this matchup. Kinda understandable for him because he is also expecting you to go pikeman, so skirmishers will counter both of those units. But yeah, he just overdid everything he did. And that's a lot of buildings that are going completely idle. You got higher score for some reason. Yeah, kill that Trish is better for you. The unit he sent in your base was a higher group than the ones you lost. Now you're in the typical game flow, 3TC against 3TC. You don't want to be in typical game flow, right? What is your mindset right now, right? If you go 3TC against 3TC, I lose. I like this mindset. Okay, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. Forward castle, okay, not this castle, but forward one is always a good way to beat a stronger team as the game goes on. This castle, I don't understand any at all, right? It's a good castle when you have 120 villagers and you're on the way to imp. It's an amazing castle. When you have a similar economy, a weaker imp team, like first, you should not even have that much stone right now. If you have that much stone, you want a castle forward, right? And you can also, yeah, you have too much stone for this point of the game. Again, that's okay if you're planning to use that castle as a weapon. If you use that castle as map control, and he's like 40C bombing right now, he couldn't care less about this castle. Lucky for you, he loves the base trade scenario. His units are obviously way better than yours. Skirms and Shivamsha Raider against crossbow Teutons. I was thinking like game plan and get a good heal, let's go. Yes, that's okay if you have economy lead. Again, if it was against Slavs, let's say, you would not need economy lead. But in this matchup, equal economy, you lose the game. His units are better, that's it. Okay, this castle is good now. I think his economy management was quite poor as well. I mean, confirmed that this is super questionable. Like Hera in Danny's spot is I cleaned enemy army, I have counter units that are cheaper, I will make a limited amount of units. If I see huge army, I will add more. But meanwhile, I will add 4 TC and get a better economy lead. I will force even more action for him. And that was kinda late for him and on a very bad spot. At least he forced defensive castle. Yeah, now you're forced to go knights, right? You're going the knights and you're against Gujar camels. But he's going elephant archers, so who gives a shit? I cannot comment this game. On bright side, I think I got another good 10 years as a top player. If this guy is a new hope of Age of Empires, I'm safe. But yeah, again, it's rank game, right? You cannot be IMO being over harsh there. If somebody's analyzed my rank game, he would see quite a few stupid moves. So maybe Danny Boy just wanted to play elephant. Obviously, camels are a win game move. If you go camels, you're forced to go pikemen. He had a huge ball of those skirms and crossbow that he lost a bit, but with that ball just living forever, he wins the game instantly. Like, do you guys remember the game on the Hera event? Viper against Tato. The Tars against Gurjars, I think you believe. It was on Serengeti. Tato was babysitting his 15 skirms whole game because that block pikeman switch forever. It's such an important thing, right? You feel like that unit is not important at this stage of the game, but having it present on the map, it blocks the attack that counters you. So if he didn't like keep wasting his range units for trading few villages, just kept them alive, you would never be able to switch to the pikeman. And only thing he needs to make is camels, and they will shred your knights. Well, Gujar's camels. Those are working, man. Those are tanky boys. I'm caster, I can judge. Well, if it was tournament, I would agree. But rank game is a different story. Margougou is definitely playing to improve, but Danny Boy could have been just having fun. Finally a good castle. So Danny Boy played 3 TC until he goes up to him, then he has 2 more. Well, obviously mistake. And you're not adding any extra TC, you have 4 villages on wood, yeah, you're dead. Half of your economy is forward doing, well, a castle, good castle, but the flow of the game just doesn't exist for you. The flow of the game is just bad for you. One moment. I need Shisha to be watching this. I need to relax. Oh, you lost. Shocker. Okay, let's go back to, in my opinion, crucial mistake where the flow of the game was destroyed. Man, I love capture age. Such an amazing tool. You open archers, you see he's not on gold, and you see the range. You know it's comes. You should already be on the way. Well, maybe like for 4 and fletching. Yeah, maybe wait for fletching. This is not proven to invest short walls. That's obviously not a big investment. That's fine. Jading. Okay, this is a typical Nilly play. Like, you see the villager there, super close to home. What do you think? You will kill a villager? Do you think you will kill it? He will not look. He'll go AFK, and you will like raid his whole economy. You're wasting precious HP. Enemies going skirms. You need that HP. You need that HP. Man, I need to point out Daut game against Viper. It's Daut is a smart guy, right? It was way further away, similar situation. Like let's say here, the scout was attacking Daut villager, and Daut had the spearman close. Daut did not run away with villager. He fought. He wanted to take as much HP of that scout as possible, and then spearman will chase it away. Those little moves matter a lot, man. Obviously, here he didn't do it on purpose. Maybe he did actually, but like this trade for the villager HP that will not matter at all whole game for a very important scout HP. Such a huge deal. So you're absolutely certain what he's doing. He needs to rush the wall. Just by him needing to rush this wall, you're already having economy lead. He needs to protect this angle as well while finishing the wall, while this is open. Send them out. Send them out. Okay, you're finally sending them out, but you'll go back. That's it. This force is good enough to go out. His army is split away as well. One spearman will not be enough to tank the scout with this many archers. If those scouts, one scout and archers are here, you're causing so much problem. Do I need to wait for fletching? Well, fletching will be done when you are walking to him. Like, it's fine to be here without fletching, and then fletching will be there in 5 seconds. The wall, I don't hate it, but yeah, it's okay. Just keep in mind that finishing the wall when you're playing aggressive is not the most important thing. Walls are there when you don't have map control, when the game is passive, it needs to keep you safe. But if you're active, you know where enemy army is, you know what it is as well, skirms. You can take this gold and you're safe as well. And now Saber Switch. A really good timing, but nothing is happening. If you're fighting here, I cannot stress how much important it is. Like, you're fighting here, he's chasing you, then you go around, then he chases you back, then scout center. Then you have hiding place here, then he needs to quick wall this one. You cause so much panic reaction while you're switching to the scouts and taking the map control. His gold was very bad, and if that was not the case, obviously scout opening switch would not be as good. But here, your strategy was good, but you're just playing overly safe. Like, if we both wait to mass units and play post-team, well, that's not a strategy game anymore. You need to take those risks. My micro is weaker than you, and I would take this risk any time of the day. Sending archers out and hope I don't lose everything on my micro. And now, where do you go? You also are giving him time by attacking here. Scouts need to go first. Scouts would be good, like if you were constantly engaging, scouts would be a surprise factor. But now, when that moment is gone, giving him surprise factor to attack the ball, not the best. Jumping here, a decent one. So he's now, okay, he's adding scouts. I can add few extra spearmen, I can rush the walls, I can rush the tower. He sees your army is not a threat, 2 spearmen is enough with the defensive advantage. He's fine. Maybe he will add armor, yeah, he had the armor, and that's it. You don't think you can fight here? Damn right you can. Damn right you can. This should be an easy cleanup for you. Yeah, this should be easy cleanup. It's two spearmen. They will get one shot by the archers. Once you clean them up, scouts will clean everything, right? He will try to target your archers while they're dying. You just need to dance, right? And you know how to dance and dodge. Yeah, this should be an easy cleanup. Also, you would probably have one or two extra scout here, one or two extra archer, if you didn't spend so much resources at home walling, right? How much does one palisade cost? 5 wood, right? So this is easily 100 wood plus village working time. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. Is it tier 5? I don't know. Maybe it's 3. But either way, it's a lot, right? It's a lot. And it's unnecessary, right? Leary that loves playing this style only start walling when the momentum is gone, when he is not certain about enemy army position. Now you absolutely know what's going on, you don't need walls. And those are palisade walls, they are kind of give you safe. They give you false they give you false sense of security in Castle Age. And now you're entering Castle Age. So walls in Castle Age, palisade wall is absolutely unimportant. Would rather have TC here than walls. Yeah, this is a winning fight. And then you will force the tower, you will force a lot of reaction. And yeah, fourth scout would definitely be better, and you could definitely afford that. Let's see the resources collected. Way more for him as well. Way more for him as well. Obviously this help. But use somber screw over as well. Shouldn't be that high. Or just don't play this style. Or just don't play this style. He had one lumber camp. Yeah, he had double. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Obviously, you have a bonus that doesn't show in stats. Your farms are cheaper, so you save like, I don't know, 30% of this, 300 more, like 400, 500 wood. So it's not that bad. And that should